Okay, what's up? Got my water with me this morning. Yes, yes. How's it going, everybody? Oh, man. It is comics and coffee time. Time for us to sit around and talk about comic books and answer questions. Anyway, how's everybody's morning coming along? I'm curious. Hope your all's mornings are cranking along just fine. I know mine is. Oh, man. Well, I think there's people outside. Hold on a second. Huh. It's interesting. But anyway, this t-shirt is nice. I appreciate it. Thank you very much for complimenting me on my t-shirt. Yeah, I just woke up a little bit ago. I woke up maybe 45 minutes ago. And then I, of course, did some vooping. And then hopped in the shower. And here I am now. So, I never have coffee during Comics and Coffee. You should know this by now. I don't know why I still call it Comics and Coffee. Maybe because the name's so cool. But, anyway. Why am I hearing a sound? I think it is just people outside. No, I'm fine. I just woke up a little bit ago. I'm not exhausted or anything. I'm not on the verge of passing out. But yeah, this just started. So I'm gonna put on some music. You know what? It's Christmas time. I'm gonna listen to some Christmas time jazz music. And by Christmas time jazz music, I mean no jazz music at all. I mean we're gonna listen to Paul Oakenfold. Urban Soundtracks. Alice in Wonderland. Because that was such a really cool episode. It was such a cool concept. Okay. Thank the comic gods. My top 2 favorite characters are... Alright, I didn't see that. Well, crud. Oh, yeah, all my issues... oh. Thank the comic gods. My top 2 favorite characters all have issues coming out the same day next week. Who are your top 2 favorite characters? I'm curious. Long-haired hippie? Can't wait to hear about your story, about your lunch at school. Oh, that girl? Yeah, man, she beat the crap out of that dude. That was nuts. You guys want to talk about Civil War? This is the day where I answer your all's questions, so feel free to ask away. You're a bigger comic fan than I am? You may very well be. Do I like Doctor Who? I've never actually seen Doctor Who, believe it or not. I know that's like a cardinal sin in geek culture. Like, you've never seen Doctor Who? What? But I've never watched Doctor Who, so... Rob, what are your thoughts on Jessica Jones? Will you be doing a review video? You'll actually find my review video over at Rob Explains. Oh, man. Have I read the new Hercules? No, I haven't. Did they pay you to make those PSA videos? No, that was just for fun. Those PSA videos were just something a little fun. I had fun making them. And it looks like people had fun watching them. So, but those are probably the only two I'll do. I mean, I don't really see a reason to do any more. But they were interesting. You know, I enjoyed them. So, I mean, I want to get back more into characters, and so we're gonna finish out Dark Side War, and then what's going on Super Sunny Show? We're gonna finish out Dark Side War, and then we're going to start doing some more characters again, because I kind of miss doing characters. So. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy was really cool. The book's a lot more interesting than the movie, but, well, I guess the books, there's like 7 or 8 books, I think. So. Did I play Batman Arkham Knight? Yeah, I played Batman Arkham Knight. It was okay. I got it on the Xbox. I thought it was an alright game. You know, it wasn't the greatest game ever, but it was pretty fun. So, no, it's not an Halo. This is an e-cigarette. What's your least favorite comic to come out of the New 52? Probably Wonder Woman. I didn't like her comic that much. PSA stands for Public Service Announcement. Hashtag Team Iron Man. I'm curious, what side are you guys on for Civil War? Are you guys Iron Man or are you guys Captain America? Am I going to continue the Who's Better series? Yeah. I'll probably continue that with another episode. We'll do, next one, we'll probably do like Superman and Sentry. But yeah. We'll definitely do that. Like once we finish Dark Side War, guys, that's probably the last story arc that we'll be doing until like maybe Dark Knight Returns comes out in trade. But we'll be focusing on like characters in comics. So we'll be focusing on like Wonder Woman, you know, explained for the New 52, Aquaman explained for the New 52, you know, maybe Cyborg or something like that. But we'll do characters. We'll probably even do like some DC obscure characters. But with Marvel, you know, we'll do all different Marvel characters, and we'll do more Marvel comic characters, things like that, as they tie into Civil War and so on. So, you know, Captain America forever. So many Captain America fans. I feel like most people are Captain America fans because freedom. They're just like, well, freedom, you know. You stand with Cap. I stand with Iron Man with regards to Civil War. Like I side with Iron Man on that one. I think he was right, to be honest. So. You are a legend, sir. Will you do a video on the Authority? There is very little out there about them. I don't even know who the Authority are. Team Ross. Team Walter White. That is a way to go. Team Walter White. If Netflix came out with a series to help expand the cosmic arena in the MCU, what would be the best candidate? Probably something to do with, like, Adam Warlock, I'd say. Because Adam Warlock was pretty awesome. Thoughts on Gwenpool? I don't think she's crap. I think it's a cool idea. I'm curious to see where they go with it. Traitor. I think what are my thoughts on Spider-Man during Civil War during the MCU? I have a feeling that Spider-Man is probably going to be like have like a cameo. I don't think it's going to be like the comics where he's literally the middleman. Honestly, I think the middleman is going to be Bucky Barnes or Black Panther. Black Panther would make a good middleman. I think they're going to keep that element of him because I think the movie was too far along to rectify the entire plot of the film in order to include Peter Parker. So I doubt Peter Parker is going to be the middleman. I think it's going to be Black Panther. Let's see. Yeah, I saw that Reddit post. Some people are saying they think it's like Marvello the Kree. So you should do a video on Resurrection. I've never heard of him. A Blue Marvel show would be cool. You're still holding out for Fantastic Four. Darkseid is not officially over. Darkseid War is not officially over. Like, Act 1, so to speak, is officially over, which is why we're jumping into it now. And hopefully, like, it should be done, and honestly, it should be done by the end of the week, by, like, Friday. Like, it should be finished because it's only four parts, and they're not double size or anything, so it should be done by then. Have you played Deadpool the video game? No, I haven't played Deadpool the video game. Thoughts on Dark Knight 3 Book 1? I actually haven't read it yet, to be honest. No, I know it's called Master Race, and I have it, I just haven't read it yet. So, how am I making out? Making out pretty well. Doing pretty good. It's tax time again, so that sucks. Going through all my taxes and itemizing and all that kind of stuff is a pain in the ass. Well, it's not really a hassle. My state taxes are actually, well, my state taxes really aren't that difficult either. But no, the itemizing isn't the hard part. It's just hoping the IRS doesn't reject any of it. So, I've read that Spider-Man will have a bigger role than just a cameo. He's supposed to fight Captain America. Oh, okay, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I know that in the comics, Spider-Man was the middleman. He was literally like the swing vote on registration. And when he left, a lot of people, like when he left the side of Iron Man, a lot of people left with him. In terms of his role in the movie, I doubt it'll be the same way. I think that's going to be Black Panther, because I think the movie was too far along in terms of being written to simply just replace Black Panther with Spider-Man. But I don't know. I mean, it's who knows what could happen. I mean, we won't know until the movie comes out. So, let's see. What are my thoughts on Flash Season 2 so far? Flash Season 2 is amazing. Like, I buy my comics at a local comic shop here in town, and digitally I buy them at Comixology. But no, the Flash Season 2 is really, really good. I don't consider myself to be YouTube famous, but no, yeah, Flash Season 2 is pretty awesome. I like the whole, like, using Earth 2 as an ongoing arc, because they can do the same thing with Earth 3, and they can do the same thing with, different places elsewhere, different realities. They can literally just make up realities as they go along. That's a great thing about the multiverse. That's what DC was doing in the comics. They were just making up universes as they went along. But it's a cool concept. I really like what they're doing there. I don't remember. Did Jay Garrick go back to Earth 2? I don't remember off the top of my head, because he's been out of like a bunch of episodes. Let's see. Did you get that shirt from Collector Core? Yeah, I got it from Collector Core. Thoughts on Jessica Jones? Jessica Jones was really, really good. I really enjoyed it. If you only had one to choose to see Superman versus Batman or Star Wars or Captain America, I have to pick one? Really? That's a good question. Superman versus Batman, Captain America Civil War, or Star Wars. Ooh. Man. Honestly, I'd go see Star Wars. I'd see Star Wars first. Definitely. Okay, I thought he might have stayed. Okay. We haven't seen him for a while. And I was like, well, I mean, that's weird. So no, I've never watched Cowboy Bebop. I mean, I knew what it is, and I knew it was big when I was younger. But no, I never saw it. No, I never saw it. Let's see. Who do I think Professor Zoom is? You should go check out Benny's video about that. He actually has a really good answer to that question. Yeah, I could read about the rest, but definitely Star Wars. The worst comic book villain? There was a villain from Marvel Comics from way back in the day, like, damn, I don't know, like in the 1960s, I think, maybe 1970s. He had the ability to create force fields, and he was fighting the X-Men, and something happened, and he lost the ability to control his force field and suffocated inside of his own force field. Like, he died because of his own powers. What's good, Jiren? Callum, I think is how you pronounce it. I'm not sure. Thoughts on the dying print comic industry? I don't think it's dying by a long shot. Not at all. I mean, I walk into my comic shop and I see comics all over the place, so I don't think there's any indication that it's dying. Let's see. Have I read Angela, Queen of Hell? Yeah. Are you talking about the Secret Wars tie-ins, the Secret War book? Because that was actually pretty good. Um, let's see. I'm actually vaping. I'm not really smoking. But what do I think Firestorm Ronnie went? I think he's actually dead, to be honest. I mean, they replaced him with a new character, with a new version of Firestorm, so I think he's gone. So, let's see. Do you think the Lord that could be Mr. Marvel in Guardians of the Galaxy 2? Oh, you're talking about Marvel. Yeah. I'm pretty sure that Marvel is Star-Lord's father. At least I think that's the case that they're making, is he's going to be Star-Lord's father. I'm holding out hope for Adam Warlock, but I could be wrong. So, thoughts on the Gotham show? I watched the first season, and then it just wasn't really for me, and so I lost interest and stopped watching it. So, has it gotten really good? Like, people are saying it's getting really good. I might get back into it. So, which one of my posters is my favorite? The one right there in the middle, Empire Strikes Back. I like that one the most. But oddly enough, Return of the Jedi is my favorite of the Star Wars films. So, what's your favorite all-new, all-different title from Marvel? Definitely Deadpool. I don't know how many of you guys have read all-new, all-different Deadpool, but it's actually really good. It's actually really, really cool. So, let's see. Thoughts on the Black Panther suit? The Black Panther suit looks amazing. Like a vibranium hybrid. Like, it looks amazing. It's really solid. Oh yeah, David Tennant was super creepy. Like, he was really, really weird. But it was done well. I think they made him too human, to be honest. I like just like him being just a super evil guy. But what they did with him was still really good. And David Tennant was pretty amazing. So I'm not at all upset about it. Oh, the Ewoks were amazing. Yeah, I'll definitely read Dark Knight 3. Do you believe James Gunn is trolling or think there's actually a big undiscovered Easter egg still in Guardians of the Galaxy? I don't think there's a big undiscovered Easter egg. I don't know. I'll have to go back and watch it. Let's see. Yeah, I watched The Walking Dead, definitely. Tonight's the season finale. So, I'm going to, tomorrow's going to be a review on the season finale about The Walking Dead and what direction I think it'll go in. So, do I think Daryl's going to die? Yeah. I don't think Daryl's going to die at the end of this season, but I think Daryl will die in the show. I think they're going to kill him. But I feel like if they did, it would drive down interest by fans. They would literally be tanking their own show. So, I don't know. So, do I think they should play Iron Fist on the Netflix? Oh, who do I think should play Iron Fist in the Netflix show? There's a guy. You guys should look him up. There's a guy named Daniel Bernhardt, and he's really, really good at martial arts. He did a lot of campy movies like Bloodsport, stuff like that. Like, he was never big in Bloodsport. He did like Bloodsport 2, 3. I think he even did Bloodsport 4. He was also one of the agents in the Matrix films. But he's actually a legitimate martial artist, and he's an older guy. But give him like blonde hair, and he could pull off a pretty good Danny Rand. I think he'd make a great character. The problem is he's like a B or a C-list level actor, so I'm not really sure how that's going to work. But James Gunn said there's one Easter egg nobody's found yet in Guardians of the Galaxy. I don't know. I'll have to go back and comb through it. So, what happened to the old Silver Surfer video you had up early on your channel? That was a preview. It was a trailer. I mean, I got rid of that. That was a trailer. There was no need for it to stay up there anymore. So, do I think Miles Morales is going to be the next Spider-Man movie that they do? Well, Kevin Feige had actually done an interview where he had talked about that. He had talked about Miles Morales being Spider-Man. And one of the things that he said was when they got the rights to add Spider-Man to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, it made sense to go with Peter Parker, and it does. It makes perfect sense to go with Peter Parker, because regardless of how good Miles Morales is as Spider-Man, Peter Parker's a recognizable Spider-Man. And so if you're going to bring in people to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, your comments are posting fine. If you're going to bring in Peter Parker to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, it makes sense to bring in, or I guess bring in Spider-Man, it makes sense to bring in Peter Parker and then segue into Miles Morales later on. That makes more sense to me. So I'm not one of those people who's upset because Miles Morales is not the Peter Parker or not the Spider-Man that we're getting. I'm fine with that, So, Rob vapes the souls of the week. I'm vaping the souls of my vanquished foes. Do I prefer Daredevil or Jessica Jones? Jessica Jones, actually. It's pretty awesome. Let's see. Will Defenders end up in Infinity War? I have no idea. I'm hoping that Infinity War turns out to be this just massive undertaking, like this huge inclusion of all these different superheroes. I'm really hoping that's the case. It might not be, but I'm hoping that it is. Let's see. If the entire Marvel or DC universe could be rewritten by one writer, who would you pick? Jeff Johns. And if Jeff Johns couldn't do it, then Jonathan Hickman. Let's see. Do you want MCU to follow Civil War's ending in comics? Where Captain America gives up? Yeah. Because that was a really important moment for Captain America to quit. For Captain America to basically walk away and to say, like, we're not fighting for the people anymore. We're fighting for the sake of fighting. That was the most logical conclusion you could draw. Now, it was written that way explicitly in order to just simply bring an end to the story. I mean, there's really no deeper meaning there. There's really no philosophical, hidden meaning behind why the ending was the way it was. It was just literally Marvel saying, well, we got to end this somehow. And so Mark Miller just ended it that way. But, the fact remains that the way it was done, I thought was really cool. The idea of Captain America simply just giving up, plus to set the stage for his character to be killed later on, and that's what would happen in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Either that, or they would like capture him, but some way like he would have to effectively lose the fight. So, Kid Flash, as far as I understand it, will not appear on the Flash season 2. We'll just get like Wally West. They're just going to introduce Wally West. So, let's see. Rob, what do you think of Superman American Alien? Superman American Alien is so good. Max Landis, man, his writing is amazing. Issue number 1 was incredible, and I want to do those videos. I want to do videos on those stories. Oh yeah, I'm definitely doing my dream job. This is amazing. But I guess I'd be voice work, narrating for a living would be my dream job. But this is definitely pretty amazing. No, Superman American Alien is fantastic. Such a great series of stories. I'm really looking forward to it because apparently each one is supposed to be a section of his life. We were talking about that earlier in the weekly poll, and I didn't know how it was supposed to go. And I think either Sal or Joel said that it was basically going to be different sections of his life. How old am I? I'm 31 years old. What if the ending of Civil War includes Thanos versus the Avengers? I don't think that'll happen. No, I don't think that'll happen at all. Let's see. Do I think Zoom is Earth 2 Wally West? That would be wild. If he was Earth 2 Wally West, that'd be pretty crazy. Let's see. Rob, what are your thoughts on the Star Wars comics? They're actually written really well. I really enjoy what Jason Aaron's doing so far. But for whatever reason, I don't know if it's just a lack of interest. I don't know if it's because, people just don't care. But Star Wars videos just never do well on Comics Explained. It's strange. But they do pretty well on Rob Explains, So I've basically kept the Star Wars videos over there. But, yeah, it's kind of wild. Thoughts on Deadpool Kills the Marvel Universe? Great story. Awesome story. Let's see. Uh, Rob, the narrator, I would watch that. You'd watch that? Okay. Let's see. Block user. Who is your favorite old? What's your favorite old superhero cartoon? Definitely X-Men the animated series. Like that was during my time. Like, I really enjoyed X-Men the animated series. It was pretty awesome. Yeah, I played Star Wars Battlefront. It wasn't bad at all. It was a little repetitive. It was pretty basic, but the simplicity of the game I think is what makes it so fun. That it's a no frills game. Like there's not all kinds of stuff tied into it. You know, it doesn't feel like it's moving a million miles a minute. It's actually a pretty fun game. So I might play some Battlefront later on today. Actually, I might play it here in a little bit as soon as we get done with this. Play that for a couple hours and then work on our Dark Side War video for tomorrow. Let's see. Do you like where Scott Snyder's going with Batman, with Gordon doing Robot Batman? It's okay. I like that he was experimenting. I like that he was kind of changing things up a little bit and really just like removing Bruce Wayne from the picture. That kind of experimentation I think is always a good idea. It never hurts to say like, what would happen if we got rid of Batman, got rid of Bruce Wayne as Batman, and replaced him with somebody else? It creates for actually some pretty compelling stories. The problem is, you know, I'm so used to Bruce Wayne as Batman that it's difficult to imagine someone else being Batman. And I feel like if he kept Jim Gordon on long enough, that I would get used to Jim Gordon, and then they would get rid of Jim Gordon and bring back Bruce Wayne. And so I think them, you know, bringing Bruce back makes sense. You know, it makes the most sense to me. So I'm playing on PS4. Saints Row 3. I haven't played. Saints Row 3. Yeah. Saints Row 3 was awesome. Like, yeah, that game was pretty amazing. It was an over-the-top, ridiculous GTA 5, and that's what made it so cool. So, no, I'm not gonna live stream Battlefront. You're so behind on comics. Well, that's what my channel's for, is to get you caught up. Have I seen Gotham, and if so, okay, yeah, we already talked about Gotham. Like I said, you know, I saw the first season, lost interest in it, and really haven't watched it since. But people have been saying it's really good. And so if people say it's really good, then, you know, I guess it's worth checking out. So, getting back into it again. Out of all the new Dark Side War gods, who's your favorite? Bat God, Shazam God, Green Lantern, God Lantern, God Superman, or The Flash? Well, Batman, to be honest. Like, I like an all-knowing Batman. Like, it fits his character perfectly, you know. The Batman knows everything. That is a cool concept. It's weird to see him on the Mobius chair, but it's a cool concept. Would I do reaction videos? No, probably not. I did one or two of those, and I think it was fun just to kind of do in passing, but that's not something that I'd make a regular thing, I don't think. Plus, the issue that you run into is, you know, a lot of the content's copyrighted, and what would happen is if I could do like I wanted to do a reaction video on the trailer for Deadpool. Well, the issue is that it was copyrighted, and sure, that means I use an EV RE20 microphone. Sure, it means that the video could be uploaded, but it also means that would draw the attention of Fox, and they could give me a copyright strike, which could definitely cause problems on my channel. So, if you could give one Marvel character a Green Lantern ring, who would it be? Ooh, that's a good question. If I could give a Marvel character a Green Lantern ring, I'd probably give it to Reed Richards. I think he'd be the most reasonable character to get a Green Lantern ring. No, I'd probably definitely give it to Reed Richards. All right, so here's my question for you guys. I don't have Cloud Chaser. If you guys could give an Infinity Stone to a DC character, who would you give it to? Like, what Infinity Stone would you give it to? Let's see. How many minutes are we in? I don't know. We're about 26 minutes in. About halfway through. Let's see. Do you prefer to buy issues, trade paperback, or digital? If it's a story that I know I'm going to enjoy, I buy the trade. If it's a story that I'm not sure about, I'll buy the first few issues, and then if I really like it, then I'll just buy the trade, or I'll buy the rest of the issues, to be honest. But let's see. You'd give an Infinity Stone to Batman? Wow. Do you give Batman the Mind Gem? Wow. So many people say they'd give an Infinity Stone to Batman. The Soul Stone to Superman. All right, well, here's a question for you guys. Why are you guys such huge Batman fans? And I'm asking that seriously. I'm not asking that to be sarcastic. I'm asking that seriously. Like, why are you guys such huge Batman fans? Like, what is it about Batman that you guys like? I guess is a better way to ask that question. Flash with the power gem would be unstoppable. That would be nuts. Daredevil would get the Green Lantern ring. He's the man without fear. That is true. The power gem to Nightwing. Time gem to the Flash. Is All New, All Different Marvel worth reading? Definitely. All New, All Different Marvel is definitely worth reading. The problem with All New, All Different Marvel is that a lot of it's not that new and not that different. Deadpool, for example, comes out of the previous run of Deadpool. You know, All New, All Different Deadpool comes out of the previous run. And so there are elements, when we make our video on All New, All Different Deadpool, like I'll let you guys know, I'll tell you guys how it ties into his continuity prior to Secret Wars, because it does. And it's, you know, it's really kind of weird. So, he represents the common man while Superman doesn't. He's amazing because his parents died. Superman too powerful. There's no way you can relate to him. Wow. We don't know how Deadpool came back. We haven't got an answer to that question. That's during that 8-month window where stuff happened and everything reset, apparently, something along those lines. So, have you given up Secret Wars like at least 6 years? No, I mean, I'm still doing videos on Secret Wars. I mean, honestly, I'm not reading them until I make the video, but you know, I'm not going out to the store and reading it as soon as I get it. Like, I get it and then it just kind of sits there for a while until I make the video. But let's see. Joker gets the reality gem. God, people are still answering. That's nuts. Imagine Rune King Thor with a fully composed Infinity. Yeah, that'd be stupid powerful. Hugh Jackman is one of the Fourth Horsemen. That's what I'm kind of curious about. I haven't read enough about X-Men Apocalypse. Do we know who the Fourth Horsemen are going to be? Like, do we know who those horsemen are going to be? I'm kind of curious. The best origin, in my opinion, the Sentry. What Aegis am I using? I'm using Captain Crunk, which is actually really, really good. Can I do a video on Lord Beerus, God of Destruction? Yeah, that's going to be on Rob Explains. Let's see. Imagine John Cena gets the Infinity Gauntlet. John Cena! Where do I get my poster frames? Those came with the posters. Let's see. Why hasn't Batman gotten rid of crime in Gotham? Because then he'd be out of a job. There'd be no reason for him to exist anymore. You love Death in the Family? Yeah, Death in the Family is really good. Death in the Family is a classic story. Death of the Family is a good story, too. So, What headset am I using? These are AKG headphones, but I actually got a set of P7s, I think, from Bowers and Wilkins. Those are really good. I would give Batman the Mind Gem, Superman the Soul Gem, Wonder Woman the Power Gem, Darkseid the Reality Gem, Flash the Time Gem, Lex Luthor the Space Gem. Lex Luthor with a Space Gem would be really cool. Will I do a video on Green Lantern, Godhead, and the New Gods? I may. I mean, right now we're getting into New Gods, and let's talk about this for a second, guys. So, for those of you guys who are reading Darkseid War, and we'll talk about this during our video on Darkseid War. And for those of you guys who are reading Darkseid War and you find yourself confused about the New Gods, you find yourself confused about Darkseid, no, I'm not interested in playing P7s or headphones. I'm not interested in playing Counter-Strike Go. The New Gods are a weird concept. So the way it originally happened was when Jack Kirby went to DC, he created the Fourth World, and the Fourth World was the New Gods. That was Darkseid, that was Highfather, that was Mr. Miracle, who would become Mr. Miracle, scot-free. It was all that stuff created, and it was designed to be a separate continuity. It was designed to be completely isolated from Marvel Comics or from DC Comics. Well, the problem was there was creative differences, and Jack Kirby left before the Fourth World was finished, and he went back to Marvel. And so what DC did is they took what had been created, or at least the aspects they liked about what had been created, and they rolled it over into the DC continuity. And so when you have like the huge DC multiverse, you have all these different universes and all the different kinds of stuff, you only have one Apocalypse, you only have one New Genesis, you only have one Darkseid, one Highfather, one Mr. Miracle, and so they're multiversal, multiversal constructs. They are there's only one of them in the entire multiverse. And so what Geoff Johns is doing is he's taking a lot of the old stuff from the New Gods as it existed, the way it was written by Jack Kirby, and he's literally rewriting it for the New 52. And so, that's why I have a video on the New 52. I'm sorry, I have a new video on I have a video on the New Gods and Darkseid. But what we're going to do with our video on Darkseid War is we're going to rehash a lot of that stuff, because a lot of people may not have seen that video. A lot of people may not be interested in watching that video. They may not know it's there. And so, if we're going to be doing Darkseid War, it makes sense to run over that stuff again. And so the first video is going to be a pretty lengthy video, and we're going to go through and basically run over, all that stuff. We're going to talk about Darkseid and the New Gods, and I'll reference people to that video, if they want to get a more comprehensive explanation, because there's no point in doing, an hour-long video with 20 minutes on Darkseid and the New Gods and 20 minutes on Scot-Free, Mr. Miracle, and then 20 minutes on issue number 1. That's how long it turns out to be, So, that's what we're going to do basically is make sense of all that stuff. So, let's see. Why did Jack Kirby leave Marvel in the first place? Because of creative differences. He felt like he wasn't being appreciated, and so he left Marvel, went to DC. And then when he was at DC, he felt like he wasn't being appreciated. And at the end of the day, it was a simple, case of the devil you know is better than the devil you don't know. And so he just went back to Marvel. So, hey Rob, I have a question. Can you explain how Iron Man got his arc reactor back in the end of Iron Man 3? I remember he threw it in the seal. We're just kind of left to assume that he had one sitting around, that he just created one. I don't know the answer to that question. I'm hoping they answer that, but at this point we don't know. There's been no information, forthcoming on, connecting Iron Man at the end of Iron Man 3 to the current events. I mean, he had it removed and all that kind of stuff, and if you look, his armor's designed differently, and so we're just kind of left to assume that the arc reactor technology wasn't necessary anymore for his chest, because of the surgery that he had done and had those pieces of shrapnel removed, and he's just basically got a gaping hole in his chest now. But I'm not really sure where they're going to go with it. I'm not sure what they're going to do with that. So, no, Jack Kirby passed away a while ago. Let's see. Do I feel that DC should have made a Blackest Night, Brightest Day movie? That actually wouldn't have been a bad idea. The problem with that is there'd be a lot of backstory that needs to be explained. You know, a lot of explanation that needs to show up about the different Green Lantern Corps and all that kind of stuff, and that makes it a little more complicated. So, no, I don't read Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, although apparently I've heard it's pretty amazing and I need to. So, is there any essential reading before Darkside War? Not really. But any of the stuff that you need to know before getting into Darkside War, you'll find on my channel. Like, you could literally just go back and watch my video on Darkside of the New Gods and then jump into Darkside War. And Darkside War is pretty much standalone. You could read, you know, Justice League issues 1 through 5, and that will cover a lot of that stuff. But, you know, that's basically just them fighting Darkseid for the first time. It's really it. So, it's really not necessary, to be honest. In fact, you know, when Jeff Johns does Darkside War, he references it. He references Justice League issues 1 through 6, but basically like clears it up, you know, and makes it so you don't need to go back and read those if you don't want to. So, let's see. What happened to Pepper in the MCU? We assume, or at least I assume, that she left. That she just basically walked away from Stark Industries. I don't know. Let's see. I don't really read Stephen King. My PlayStation Network handle is Marvel Explained. You stand with your feet? Which trailer do you like best? Batman vs. Superman or Civil War? Civil War, definitely. But at the end of the day, I think when it comes down to it, Batman vs. Superman will probably sell more. Because it's two iconic characters fighting one another. So, whatever happened to Longshot in the comics? And do I think a Mojo Universe? I don't think they'll do a Mojo Universe, and I have no idea what happened to Longshot in the comics. I stopped reading him 15, 20 years ago. Let's see. Who would I give a Yellow Lantern ring to? I'd give a Yellow Lantern ring to Spider-Man. I think it'd be cool. Let's see. Or I'd give a Yellow Lantern ring to the Sentry. Do I like the Earth One books? I actually haven't read those. Okay, so here's a question I meant to ask you guys. Are the Earth One books good? Because I was thinking about this the other day when I was going through Best Buy and I was periscoping, and I saw those comics that Best Buy was selling, which is weird. They had a great big huge thing, and one of them was like Superman Earth One. Are the Earth One books good? Like I've heard they're pretty good, but I don't know. I'm curious. You give one to Kingpin? Even Civil War is a fight between iconic characters. Yeah, it is. But those characters aren't nearly as iconic as Batman and Superman. I mean, there's really no denying that. Like, Batman and Superman are the two most iconic characters in comic books. Everyone knows who they are. You know, everyone everywhere knows who they are. Not nearly as many people know who Bucky Barnes is or Black Panther. You know, Captain America, more people know who he is, but, you know, like, it's definitely, it's definitely Batman and Superman in terms of popularity. So, yes, they are amazing. Earth One books are good. Earth One books are fantastic. Worth it, man. They're freaking great. Rob, what would your ideal team up between one Marvel character, one DC character, and one Image Comics character? Ooh, the Sentry, Batman, and Spawn would be an awesome team up, I think. I mean, those are the first three that came to mind. So, like, I'd definitely take those. Hulk would probably shatter the Red Ring, and it would kill Bruce. Hulk would probably shatter the Red Ring. Like, it would try to attach itself to him, and he would just grab it and smash it. That would be cool. They really need to do that. Like, they need to do a crossover between Marvel and DC. Like, where, like a Green Lantern Marvel crossover. And, like, the Green Lantern Corps, in like, the different Lantern Corps invade Marvel Comics. Like, that would be cool. Like, how many of you guys would read that if the Lantern Corps invaded Marvel Comics? And it was literally just like, it was just this great big huge crossover. And you had like Batman, Superman, yada yada yada. But all the Lantern Corps showed up in Marvel Comics. Like, how cool would that be? So I actually haven't read Sex Criminals. I've heard it's good, but I probably won't do a video on that on my channel just because it's not very family friendly. So, oh, Straczynski wrote it? Straczynski is such a good writer. I didn't realize he wrote Superman Earth 1. Do I feel the new Vision comic is interesting or just weird? No, I think it's really interesting. I think it's pretty solid. I'd read it in trade. I would. Definitely. 100%. I would totally read that. Yeah, I think it'd be pretty awesome. Yeah, I know they've crossed over, but they haven't had like the Lantern Corps crossing over. Like, they haven't done a crossover since Jeff Johns rebooted the Green Lantern series. So, like, and the really cool thing is if they did that, if they had like all the Lantern Corps show up on in the Marvel universe, you could just like you could have lantern rings going to different people. Like, that would be a really cool scene in the thing where like the Red Lantern ring, like shows up and tries to attack the Red Hulk, and he literally just like catches it in midair and like crushes the ring and like into dust, and that's it. He's like, I don't need that, or something like that. It'd be pretty awesome. I appreciate it. I got this shirt from Collector Core, and it's actually really comfortable too. It's like 100% cotton, so it's really soft. Would you read a book where a hero is called the Hype? Maybe. I'd be a little iffy about that. Is Jeff Johns a good writer? Definitely. Jeff Johns is a fantastic writer. Can a babe lift Thor's hammer? Like a baby? I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know. I mean, they're devoid of good or evil. They're simply they just exist. They have no intention. So I'd say probably not, because they, they're. I mean, I'd say probably not, because I'd like to think. I mean, that's the problem with the enchantment, is it's so open. It's whosoever holds this, or whosoever finds this hammer, whatever it is, if he be worthy, shall possess the power of Thor. And my laugh can cure cancer. But it's so open-ended. Like, you could interpret it different ways. Are they battle forged like Thor? Do they have good intent? Babies don't have intent. Babies just exist. It's not until they become knowledgeable, educated, that they gain intent. Before they experience the world, do they gain intent? So I don't know. I'd say probably not, but the hype is not worth the hype. What are your thoughts on the Thor and Hulk team up in Ragnarok? I actually think it's a really, really cool idea. Thor and Hulk teaming up is an awesome concept. I'm actually really excited to see what they do with it. I mean, it'll just be Thor fighting on behalf of, or I guess Hulk fighting on behalf of Thor. But I'm still hyped to see what happens. I'll definitely check out the Earth 1 series. If you guys say it's really good, I'll definitely check out Earth 1. So I assume they're standalone, like they're isolated. They don't really tie into continuity. Is that the case? Like, do the Earth 1 stories not tie into continuity? We'll look that up real quick. Original graphic novel series. Okay. So they're original graphic novels. They're not tied into continuity. Okay, cool. Those are some of my favorite stories. Are the ones that don't tie into continuity. The ones that are isolated. So, damn, Robert, you have a radio voice. I appreciate that. I do the best I can with the voice that I have to make it sound as attractive as possible. But it takes a lot of editing. It takes a lot of time, and it can be Very time consuming. To make my voice as awesome as it is. There is a big difference between innocence and worthiness. That is true. Is Ultimate DC? Okay, cool. That's cool. Let's see. Rob, a team up between Lex Luthor, Doctor Doom, and Dr. Gero. That's a weird team up. Dr. Gero is what strikes me as the weirdest. I mean, it's cool, you know, but it's an interesting one. Let's see. Earth 1 Teen Titans is phenomenal. So is it like a whole line of just Earth 1 titles? Because we might start doing those. I mean, let's see. Earth 1. Let's see. Why do I vape with a dehumidifier? Wow, there's Superman Earth 1. Oh, it's into Volume 3. Batman Earth 1, Teen Titans Earth 1, Wonder Woman Earth 1, Aquaman, The Flash. Wow. Huh. I'll definitely check those out then. Yeah, I got my ticket for Star Wars. Definitely. I actually got my ticket when they first released them, when they first released the tickets, and there were only 2 available in the theater. I was like, that's nuts. So I'm going to see it by myself, but I'm pretty sure me and a bunch of friends will get together and go see it later on too. So, oh god, a Green Lantern Dragon Ball crossover? Would that not be amazing? Like, imagine Goku with like a yellow lantern, not really Goku, like Vegeta with a yellow lantern ring. Like, oh my god, that'd be amazing. Or like with a red lantern. Oh god, Vegeta with a red lantern ring. Like, that would be amazing. How many of you guys would go see like would read like a Green Lantern Dragon Ball Z crossover? I'd read the heck out of that. Like, definitely. Let's see. Earth 1 Superman Volume 1 is where they got Man of Steel from. Oh, okay. Huh. Black Panther is in the trailer. Looks like he fell off a motorcycle after being the bad guy in an evil show. I don't think so. He looks awesome. I think he looks really good. Do I have to kill myself in order to get Rob to watch Berserk, or at least the OVAs? That's a crazy sentiment. That's, of course not. But I probably won't watch it. So, that would be awesome. I would. Blackest Night Dragon Ball. Let's see. I have. Jerry Conway is doing a Need Horror. Huh. A DC Question Netflix series. I don't know if I'd really watch it. The only way I'd watch it is if it had like a noir feel to it. If it felt like Blade Runner, then I'd probably watch that. But if it didn't, you know, I probably wouldn't. Like, no. Let's see. Toei Animation of DBZ have a good relationship with DC. Do they really? Huh. That is crazy, man. My Kim teacher got tickets already too. Let's see. Excited for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Batman. Oh, they are doing a crossover, aren't they? Yeah, I'll probably do a video on that. A Black Lantern Goku. That'd be pretty wild. Kill Goku off and then bring him back as a Black Lantern. I mean, it'd be worth it. Like, I'd check that out. Did Flash ever wear a lantern ring? Yes, he wore a lantern ring on a couple of occasions. He wore a blue lantern ring, I think. Was it during Injustice, guys, that he wore a blue lantern ring? And then I think he was another lantern at one point. I think. I don't know. Let me post them in the chat, guys. Like, what lantern rings did the Flash ever have? Because I'm not going to swear to that, but I thought he may have worn a lantern ring at some point. Oh, I'd definitely watch a Silver Surfer movie. Definitely. Let's see. Is the definitive Superman series over? No, but it's actually being transformed into something else, and you guys will find out soon. Kentucky Wildcats football does suck, yeah. I'm not going to sing for you guys. Can you explain Guillotine? I don't know who Guillotine is. Let's see. Blue Lantern Flash. Yeah, Blackest Night. That's what it was. Blackest Night. The blue and the green. Okay. The blue ring. Mr. Satan gets an orange ring. He gets the White Lantern ring of life. Let's see. The Flash had a blue and white during Darkest Night and Brightest Day. You mean Blackest Night and Brightest Day? Yeah. Blue and black. Okay. Thoughts on Batman Europa? I haven't read it yet. Kid Buu with a lantern ring would be nuts. The Aretha Franklin ring, it makes you Jesus at singing. It makes you an incredible singer. Let's see. Blue, looks like blue is all. Okay. Huh. I don't know. Red Lantern Supergirl, yeah, that looked really cool. Well, I do Old Man Logan's Secret Wars. I'm actually debating on that. I'm not sure if I'm going to. I may or may not. It's weird. I don't know. Let's see. Do you think the Punisher will get his own Netflix show? I hope so. Like, I really want the Punisher to get his own Netflix show. Like, I'd really enjoy seeing that. Oops. Like, I think it'd be pretty awesome. I knocked over my bottle of e-cigarette stuff. Good thing I had my my cap on. It would have gone all over the place. A lightsaber powered by an Infinity Stone. Oh my god. Like whip it out, like activate the whip it out, activate the lightsaber and then alter reality. That'd be pretty awesome. All right, guys, we're gonna wrap this episode of Comics and Coffee up. We've been running for about an hour or so, which is par for the course when it comes to this. So I'm gonna bounce off here, but I'm definitely gonna check out Earth One. I appreciate the suggestions, guys. I'm glad you guys, threw that in there because I hadn't really thought about it before. But I'll definitely check out Earth One. It sounds like it's an incredible story. Like, it sounds like it's really cool, and yeah, so anyway, we're going to wrap this up. For those of you guys who are interested in playing Battlefront, send me a message on Marvel Explained on a PlayStation, on the PS4, and I'm going to go grab some breakfast, and I guess make some breakfast, and then, yeah, I'm down to play. So I'll probably be on here in the next half an hour or so. And yeah, so I'll catch you guys later. Peace.